Hi guys! Welcome back sa inyong lahat. As in sa inyong lahat, lovers man or bashers ni math. Welcome again to this new math lesson ni Sir Kenchong. Ang math lesson ni Sir Kenchong today ay factoring polynomials. Medyo madami ito kaya hatiin natin into 5 parts. So this is the first part. This is factoring the GCMF or the greatest common monomial factor. Ayun. Let's review muna kung ano ang factoring at kung ano ang polynomials. Factoring is finding two or more factors of a number or a polynomial. Just like this one. 6 is equal to 3 times 2. So itong 3 and 2 ay factors ni 6. Factoring is also the process of rewriting a polynomial as a product of two or more polynomials. Ayun. So gaya nito. So itong polynomial na ito ay rewrite natin as a product of these two polynomials. So we have 12x to the 4th power minus 8x is equal to the product of 4x and 3x cubed minus 2. So that's what we call factoring. Ano naman ang polynomials? So polynomials naman ay mga algebraic expressions ito which consist of variables, yun yung mga letters, mga variables yun, and coefficients. We have different kinds of polynomials depending on the number of terms. So, gaya nito, 3x. Ito ay isang monomial kasi iisang term lamang. Kapag meron na tayong dalawang terms just like 3x plus y, we call it a binomial. And if we have 3 terms naman, x plus y plus 5z squared, we call this a trinomial. Okay, so wag kayong maguluhan with this one. 3xyz. Wag niyong sabihin trinomial yan kasi yan ay isang monomial lamang. Okay? Para madaling ma-determine kung ilang terms ang meron sa isang polynomial, hanapin niyo yung plus at saka minus. So ito, walang plus at minus, monomial, mag-isa lang niya. Gaya rin ito, mag-isa lang niya, monomial lang yan. Ito, so merong plus, so hiniwalay nung plus yung dalawang terms, is 3x at saka yung y. So that's a binomial. Ito naman, merong dalawang plus, hiniwalay niya yung tatlong terms, x, y, at saka si 5z squared. So there are 3 terms in this polynomial, so we call it a trinomial. Let us proceed to factoring the greatest common monomial factor. There are actually 5 steps in factoring the GCMF, and as we discuss each of the 5 steps, let's have this first example. Factor 3x plus 6x squared. The first step is to find for the GCF of the coefficients 3 and 6. Hanapin natin yung GCF nung mga numbers natin. So when we say GCF or the greatest common factor, let's find for a number that divides 3 and 6. Yung pinakamalaking number kung saan yung 3 pwedeng i-divide doon, yung 6 pwedeng i-divide din doon. And that is 3. Kasi 3 divided by 3 pwede, 6 divided by 3 pwede. At wala nang lalaki pa sa 3. So yan na yung greatest common factor ng ating numbers 3 and 6. Second step is to find for the GCF of the variables. So how do we find for the GCF of the variables? Hanapin lang natin yung variable with the least exponent that appears in all the terms of the polynomial. So we have 2 terms here. So meron tayong x to the 1st power and x squared. So ang variable na may pinakamaliit na exponent ay ito. Therefore, the GCF is x. Third step, find the product of these 2 greatest common factors, yung 3 and x. 3 times x is equal to 3x. At itong 3x na ito ang tinatawag nating GCMF or the greatest common monomial factor. Merong naisingit na m, monomial, kasi nga ito ay isang term lamang na polynomial. Ayun. Fourth step naman, Let's find for the remaining factor. So, paano natin hanapin yung remaining factor? I-divide lang natin itong original polynomial by the greatest common monomial factor. So, 3x plus 6x squared. Yan yung original polynomial natin. Divided by 3x. Ayan. Hiwalay natin. 3x divided by 3x plus 6x squared divided by 3x. Ito ay magka-cancel. Equals 1. Plus 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Then x squared divided by x. Apply natin yung isang law of exponent. Yun yung dividing powers with the same base. So, same sila ng base na x. Ang gagawin natin sa exponents nila ay subtract. 2 minus 1. May 1 kasi dito. And x na. X to the first power. And ito yung ating remaining factor. Last step is to write the complete factored form. Ayan. So, unahin natin yung GCMF, 3x, times the quantity 1 plus 2x. Kung yung ating original polynomial ay binomial, dapat yung remaining factor din natin ay binomial din. Okay? Therefore, 3x plus 6x squared is equal to 3x times the quantity 1 plus 2x. Ito na ngayon yung complete factored form of our polynomial. How do we know if this is checked? Simple lang. Pwede natin i-multiply. So, i-multiply natin tong GCMF natin with this remaining factor. Dapat ang sagot ay yung original polynomial. Try natin i-multiply. 3x times the quantity 1 plus 2x. We multiply by distributive property. 3x times 1 is equal to 3x. 3x times 2x. So, yung mga numbers muna. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. And then, x times x. Apply natin yung isang law of exponent. Yun yung multiplying powers with the same base. So, if they have the same base, tapos i-multiply natin sila, ang gagawin natin sa exponent ay i-add. X to the first power, x to the first power, 1 plus 1 is 2. So, x squared. At ito ay parehas doon sa ating original polynomial. Let's have this example number 2. Factor 8x to the 4th power, y to the 6th power minus 12x to the 5th power, y to the 5th power, z squared. Unang step, find the GCF of the coefficients, 8 and 12. So, ano kayang pinakamalaking number na kung saan pwede kong i-divide ang 8 doon, pati rin yung 12. Pwede ang 2. 8 divided by 2, pwede. 12 divided by 2, pwede rin. Kaya lang merong mas malaki kaysa sa 2. And that is 4. So, the GCF of 8 and 12 ay 4. Next, GCF naman ng mga variables natin. So, in finding for the GCF of the variables, hanapin natin yung may pinakamaliit na exponent that appears in all the terms of the polynomial. So, for variable x, ang pinakamaliit ay yung to the 4th power. So, x to the 4th. Variable y to the 6th or y to the 5th. So, yung 5th power. Yung z naman, hindi common yung z kasi walang z dito. So, hindi siya parte ng GCF. Ito lamang ang GCF ng ating variables. X to the 4th power, y to the 5th power. Third step, we find for the product. Multiply lang natin ito. So, we have 4 x to the 4th power, y to the 5th power. At ito ang tinatawag nating GCMF, the greatest common monomial factor. Fourth step, i-divide natin yung original polynomial by the greatest common monomial factor. Okay, so 8x to the 4th, y to the 6th, divided by the GCMF, minus yung second term, 12x to the 5th power, y to the 5th power, z squared, divided by the GCMF. Ayan. 8 divided by 4. That's 2. X to the 4th divided by x to the 4th. Cancelled na. Y to the 6th power divided by y to the 5th power. So, subtract lang natin. 6 minus 5. So 1 na lang. Y to the first power. Minus 12 divided by 4, that's 3. X to the 5th power divided by x to the 4th power, isang x na lang din. Y to the 5th power divided by y to the 5th power, cancelled. Z squared, dun pa rin siya. And this is our remaining factor. So, ang remaining factor dapat parehas ng bilang ng terms sa original natin. So, correct naman. And number 5, we write the complete factored form. GCMF muna. 4x to the 4th power y to the 5th times the quantity 2y minus 3x z squared. Therefore, 8x to the 4th power y to the 6th minus 12x to the 5th power y to the 5th z squared is equal to 4x to the 4th y to the 5th times the quantity 2y minus 3x z squared. Ayan. Let's have example number 3. Ayan. We have 12a squared b to the 4th power c squared minus 16a cubed b squared plus 20a to the 5th power b cubed c to the 4th power. So this time, meron na tayong tatlong terms. Ayan. Kasi meron tayong minus tsaka plus. So, isang term yan, second term, and then the third term. And this is a trinomial. First step, find for the GCF of the coefficients of the numbers. Pwede na pala nating i-diretso. Pwede nating isulat equals yung ating GCF ng mga numbers. 12, 16, 20. Pwede ang 2. Pero may mas malaki pa sa 2. Which is 4. Kasi 12 divided by 4, pwede. 16 divided by 4, pwede. 20 divided by 4, pwede rin. At wala nang mas malaki pa sa 4. So, the GCF of the numbers ay 4. How about sa variables? Isa-isa natin with the variables. Variable A muna. Common ba ang A sa lahat? A. Yes. Hanapin natin yung may pinakamalit na exponent. 2, 3, 5. So, yung 2 ang piliin natin. So, we have A squared. Variable B. Common ba sa lahat ang B? B. Yes. Hanapin natin yung may pinakamalit na exponent. 4, 2, 3. So, yung 2 ang piliin natin. B squared. Next variable, C. Common ba ang C sa lahat? C and walang C, merong C. So, hindi common ang C sa lahat, so hindi siya parte ng ating GCF. Ayan. So, you would notice, pinagsama na natin agad, pinag-multiply na natin agad yung GCF ng numbers at ng mga variables. Ito na yung ating GCMF. Next, gawa na tayo ng parenthesis para dun sa ating remaining factor. How do we get the remaining factor? We divide the original polynomial by the GCMF. Divide na natin. 12 divided by 4. That's 3. A squared divided by A squared. Wala nang naiwan sa A squared. B to the 4th power divided by B squared. Subtract lang natin. 4 minus 2. That's 2. So, meron pang naiwang dalawa sa B. C squared. Wala naman C dito sa ating GCMF. So, copyin lang natin yung C squared. Next, minus 16 divided by 4 is 4. A cubed divided by A squared. Meron pang isang A na naiwan. Kasi 3 minus 2, A. B squared divided by B squared. Wala nang B na naiwan. Plus, 20 divided by 4 is 5. A to the 5th power divided by A squared. So, subtract natin yung exponents. 5 minus 2. That's 3. So, A to the 3rd power. B cubed divided by B squared. Meron pang isang B na naiwan. C to the 4th power. Wala namang C sa GCMF. So, we copy lang. C to the 4th power. And this is now the complete factored form of our polynomial. Ayan. So, with that, please try this. So, please comment your answers or send me your answers para malaman ko if you have learned something today. So, that's all muna for today, guys. Don't forget to comment your answers to these two problems, factoring the greatest common monomial factor. See you next time. See you sa next part of this lesson, factoring polynomials. This is Sir Kenneth, ang teacher nyong Math Connect. See you sa next math lesson ni Sir Kenchong. Bye guys!